What up? What up? SP74. What's going on? Vanessa. Gary Cardwell, hello. Mike Donovan. Anna. Derek Farmer, what up? Hey, dog lover. I am well. I hope you are as well. Hey, what's up, Tattoo? What up, what up? What's that? Tamara, good to see you. Vanessa, Polygraph, how are you? Jules, hello. Zen, what's good? Hey, Stefan. Good to see all you guys. Hey, Starla. Food guy. I hope nobody's verbally abusing you though. Yeah, me too, Miss Thing. Multitask, Jari. Multitask. Hey, Tom, thanks. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Hey, Jill. Hey, Marlo. KTM. Lunch hour. SP says planned and targeted. What is up, everybody? Hey, what's up, Stephanie? Tactical. Says there's absolutely no way Alan did this without prior knowledge of the girls going to the bridge on that day. He was tipped off or overheard a conversation. Either way, he did it. Was he alone? Did he plan to kill, but not target them specifically? Hey, Tamara, honeybee. Thanks, Cindy. Hey, Jules. Planned and targeted. Well, today's going to be a real, you might even consider it a boring one. We're going to pull up and we're going to read slowly a lot of the information that's in the probable cause affidavit. Specifically, the stuff that mentions, I don't know, I think we'll just kind of go through it and point it out, as we see it. Things like walking with purpose, um, arriving, 14 minutes prior to the girls, and then heading straight to where they ended up going, directly to the bridge, backing into the CPS building, almost appearing to an attempt to hide his plates. So I think if we go through this information, we can kind of stop and talk about that. I mean, because if he's targeting these girls, why? And that why might lead to who else is involved. If there's others involved, we don't know. Marlo says, random opinion, but I think it was Abby that was targeted, not Libby, but I haven't fully flushed out that theory. Yeah, things have changed now, right? If we're not leaning, and we don't know if Kagan Klein's involved or not, the timing would say yes. But we know with him, the target most likely would have been Libby. That's who he was communicating with. But what if there's a relationship behind the scenes that we don't know about involving Abby? She did live between those trails and Richard Allen. There might be some secrets that we don't know yet that would explain a motive. Carrie Cardwell says, I believe it's entirely possible that KK set up the meeting, lured the girls to the bridge, and Richard Allen paid him to set it up, or something along those lines. Too coincidental to be coincidence. I mean, will we ever make sense of all this, even through the court proceedings? Are we ever going to have an understanding? Target them and to kill. He was alone. Okay. Jules says she's sticking with lone wolf, but he did target them. If so, I wonder why. And how do you do this alone without help? Starla, hello, says, I think the killer had been wanting to do something for a long time, but after Kaylee said F you, that was his last straw. Anthony Shots, huh? So you're thinking the Anthony Shots person was most likely still the killer and somehow linked up with Richard Allen that day. I mean, it's possible he's working with others and it's all connected. Yeah, I'm thinking through maybe through the bar scene. Yeah, Tactical. Tactical says, I subscribe to the idea that Klein was at the kill spot waiting. Well, if you believe or you think there's any, any truth to what Julie Melvin says about Kay Weber's neighbor telling her that they witnessed a darker complected person on the south end of the bridge around 1:30. So think about it. If you were to drop somebody off, let's say at the private drive, and then drive back and park at the CPS building, um, the timing's almost perfect. But 1:30 is also the same time that Richard Allen showed up around that time. So if he showed up and he was spotted at the bridge, so he's on camera pulling up around, or a vehicle that appears to be his is seen pulling up around 1:27. So he's at the bridge at 1:30, and witnesses see him beelining it straight to the bridge, right? Right around 1:30, 1:35. Um, so that's the reason I think if that's true, he went on the bridge, kind of hung around, maybe he was waiting for some text messages, communicating with his cohorts if they do exist, and just went across the bridge and went to the south end. So whether he was planning or waiting or part of some type of ambush, I still believe he crossed that bridge, regardless of what was going on. I think he crossed the bridge and was on the south end for whatever reason. And I think that's when Kay Weber's neighbor seen this person. And what they said correlates with what the girls were saying on the trail, saying it was like a creepy guy, like he was giving off these vibes, you know? Hey, Copper. Who else we got showing up? Alicia. Good to see you, Alicia. Heather's in the house. Good to see you, Heather. And William says, I think the kill zone was circumstantial. What do you mean? It was just the right circumstances for him. The Goldilocks effect. He's been wanting, I don't know, to hurt somebody, and he's just thought, well, I'm out of my mind right now anyway. This is a perfect opportunity. Because if he's come from the Freedom Bridge and he knows that pretty much the trails are clear, he's had an opportunity to kind of case everything. So I don't know. Maybe he was just out of his mind that day, crossed the bridge, saw how private it was. After being confronted, told the girls, go down the hill this way, away from um, the witness that I just had an encounter with. Hey, Tom, thank you. I believe there was a burner phone with Snapchat on it, and he was watching that and not a stock ticker. When revealed, I believe he will see the Cray Ross alias is a key factor in the case. I agree with everything other than the Cray Ross stuff. I haven't seen anything to validate that. I actually saw something more validating that it was a mix-up, but I could be wrong. But everything else, you might be 100% on. Him kind of giving a reason why he was looking down at his phone and tracking, waiting for images or waiting for a text to come through. And somehow they checked his phone. So I don't know. I don't know when they checked his phone or how they got that information that was on his phone. I don't know if he just gave it to them, quickly. Hey, Bogey, it says targeted and planned with the spotter that told RA they are moving. Yeah, and if he's got his head down, I'm looking at the stock. No, he's not. It's like it's part of a plan, right? Like they're all playing this part. And I wondered if they've attempted this before. Where they literally are sitting, waiting, and hunting, and they have multiple people they're catfishing. And all they need is just that one to just kind of complete the entire process and fall right into the trap. Or Is this just an opportunity? Just doesn't seem like that. Not too late, Heather. Pretty much on time. Hey, Gloria. Yeah, thank you again for that, Tom. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And that's a good point. And that's what criminals do, right? They tell half the truths. So yeah, he was looking, everything he's saying is a half truth. Well, yeah, he had his head down. Most people say, yeah, his head was down. Look, you can't even see my face. So if he's got his head down, buried in the phone, we know he's paying attention to something, and it's not stocks. It's more like, what he said the second time around, watching fish, him, catfishing. It's okay, Starla. I was confused by what you were referring to. I was like, the food guy. Sorry, I had to cough. There were too many places to hide that don't exist anymore. Shack, deer stand. I just can't see lone wolf. And what about the young guy sketch coming from the female who saw him on the bridge 50 yards away? Or is it possible he quickly shaved or did something strange like that? I seen your message at Venue 3. Mike Lundquist. Lungsquit? Hmm. Yeah, I have a lot on my plate right now. But I'll take a look when I get some time. If you can shoot me an email. I remember I go through my emails a little easier than I'm able to go through my comments. Sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Really? Where'd you get that information, Miss Thing? I'd like to see that. That's very interesting. Because I know that Richard Allen and um, his wife, weren't they like high school sweethearts? Yeah, we talked about that money, and what's up with the money account with Keegan Klein? Man, this is such like if I just let my mind wander with this case, I'll get like a migraine. It's just so strange because you'll go down one road and it just reminds you of like the possibility of how law enforcement really, really, really screwed up, and you just don't want to. You kind of go in denial mode. You're like, I can't deal with that right now. There's just so many aspects. Such a strange case. So let's pull up the affidavit. I read it twice this morning, and that's why I decided I was going to go live because I really wanted to talk about this. This points to almost a premeditated murder if Richard Allen's involved in any way. And also, it almost seems as if one of these witnesses could be lying. Did you guys get a vibe on that? So there's one witness that shows up And it seems like she just was there like briefly, shows up and left. So we're going to go through it and we're going to see if anything seems strange at all. Yeah, but what bothers me is we asked law enforcement, like, hey, like, what the hell? You guys served a search warrant on this Keegan Klein guy, and you served it because of the Delphi murders. That's why you were there. You weren't there because of some type of sting operation in regards to CSAM. No, that was a byproduct of your original purpose, which was Delphi, the Anthony shots, and the ski mask thing led you right over there to them. Okay. And then you let this person go free. He moved across the country. And now we're coming to find out that the reason he was let loose for so long is a clerical error. I mean, how many fucking clerical errors are you going to have? And here we are, and it's kind of pathetic the position that we take of following law enforcement blindly. Here we are supporting them. Oh, I'm sure that it's part of this big strategy. They're watching him. They're waiting for Keegan Klein. They're working with the FBI over state lines, and as soon as he calls the killer, they're going to move in. We let ourselves fall into this denial. But the truth is, law enforcement are paid man hours. They're going to work. They're doing a job. When that job's over, I need to go home and I have a family to take care of. So don't ever forget about the human element in all of this. This is not a Hollywood movie. The FBI is not tailing Keegan Klein and his associates daily. This isn't the casino with Robert De Niro. We're not going to start seeing witnesses getting knocked off. No, this is something it's complex only because of the psychological aspect. Shit like this is not supposed to happen. That's why it's the whole reason we're talking right now, because we're flabbergasted by it. We need to understand how this is possible. How could somebody be motivated to do something like this? And not only that, to target, two innocent children. It makes absolutely zero sense. And when things are that random, it could be anybody at any time. But how random was this crime? Thank you, Tom. One of my biggest surprises in the PCA was him walking out in broad daylight with blood all over him. See, that's the part that was very suspicious to me. Are these witnesses being 100% honest? I always visioned the killer waiting till dark to leave. Maybe he heard them yelling for the girls. Yeah, and I'm wondering if it would just happen to be perfect timing, for this witness. He comes running across the street. He's trying to get out of there. Boom, he's spotted. He kind of looks at himself. He's like, oh my God, and then hides. And the only reason I believe that is originally they said the car at the CPS was parked from 12 to 5. The witness says she saw him around 3:57. So that gives him about an hour, to hide and maybe make his way back to his vehicle and sneak out of there. Yeah, because at 3:57, you got Derek already at the trails. He's walking around up and down those trails at that very moment. And I wonder if he knew he was there while this was taking place, because there's a good chance the killer walked right in front of the camera too. Right in front of the Harvest Store camera. Hey, Heather. We got Honeybee, Heather Marie in the house, and WL22. Good to see you. I don't know what she was doing. And I don't know, does others involved mean after the fact? Did somebody help him maybe stage and move the bodies? Did somebody help him plan this crime? Predetermined, pre-planned. Robert Ives said the crime scene was staged and was non-secular in nature. Well, I was watching Jim Wagner. One of the subscribers sent me one of his newest videos, and he was talking about a thumbprint along with the bullet that was found. And he was saying that, I think this was a theory of his, I'm not sure, but he was saying that the bullet itself could have been a signature, and that the killer was just kind of overlooking the fact that they could take forensics from that bullet. So maybe he took it and placed it there, like, you know. Derek says somebody pre-cleared that area for RA, or he had direct connection with their social media. Yeah, his head. Now I can't get that out of my mind. The fact that his head was down in that cell phone, and on the bridge, it even appears that he might have a cell phone. Yeah, Derek, the timing is very tight. Shows up at 1:30. Um, he makes it to the bridge fairly quickly, according to one of the witnesses. But according to him, he went to the bridge, took a couple looks, walked back, sat down on some bench, and then went home. Because I mean, the information in the probable cause affidavit, this would never hold up in court. Like, you could poke a million holes in this, as far as he's concerned. You know what I mean? So that leads me to think they found something during that search at his home. Something, I'm gonna say, I wouldn't really call it a smoking gun, but it's definitely like a something like a slam dunk. Honeybee, I don't know if they had cameras. I know that near the end of the south end of the bridge, apparently there were some deer cameras that had been smashed out. I don't know how recent it was, as far as the timing. Hey, Chopper, I think he was a secret burglar, probably casing houses out, and then decided to kill. I did hear that he was out of work at the time, so I'm wondering if he was kind of looking for a way to make money, some kind of secretive way while he had his own time. He's kind of back there looking at the property. That's when Kay Weber's neighbor comes out, like, "Hey, what are you doing back here?" And he's just kind of, maybe he's high on something. I don't know. Drunk, maybe. Thomas Jerome Bruce committed his murders while he was, drunk on alcohol. So maybe he's just drunk out of his mind. Casing, backyards, houses. Especially because he knows that private drive is right there. Probably be easy to steal shit out there. And then while he's out there doing something like that, here comes the girls. They have no idea that they're walking right into that. Yeah, photo she took was 2:07 2:05, 2:07, Allen told authorities he was there from 1:30 to no, he said 1:30 to 3:30, but he was seen around 1:57 by a witness. And that timing was verified by was captured on video. A witness's car leaving at a specific time. Yeah, and if he did commit the murders, why would he admit to it? Some really strange things. Why would he admit to being there? Someone helped him hack LG's phone, a clone phone. How else would he know when to arrive at the bridge before them, stalk them, internet somehow? Um, Easy. Snapchat, you know, social media, Facebook. And remember, Richard Allen was much closer to these families than we suspected. And he has his own children. Candace, you thinking the Kleins are involved? It isn't Richard Allen. I mean, this would be, and this is why I'm hoping they found something during that search. Because if you just look at the probable cause and you let your mind kind of wander, it kind of seems like a frame job, you know? So the prosecution, they seem confident, you know? That stuff doesn't seem to be bothering that office right now. They found something in that search, and even Richard Allen doesn't know what it is yet. Did KK pay Libby for pictures or something? Yeah, there's just something that we're not being told. There's something going on. There's a secret that we don't know. Those are the vibes I'm getting. There's a secret that we don't know, and there's a group of people that are holding on to it collectively, motivated by the same thing. So I don't know what that has to do with. I don't, the phone being reset prior to the crime. You got Keegan Klein targeting the girls. Only, I think, less than 2 weeks prior to the crime. They talk about a money account, grooming. He was there at the search, and that the search of the Wabash was related to Delphi. And then shortly after that, they're arresting Richard Allen. I mean, what the hell is going on? Hey, Bossy, good to see you. Hey, thanks for that message you sent, or that comment you left. I'll shoot you an email about that later. What's up, Toon Army? What's going on? Google Earth, the bridge location, the kill spot was planned. Yeah, I almost put like an old dusty computer as a thumbnail with the Google Maps on it. Then I deleted it, but I should have stuck with that. Would have been more appropriate. Hey, what's up, Tax? A witness in cahoots with Richard. Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, that's possible, right? It's not out of the realm of possibility. I don't know if they said they got creeped out and left. They said the guy was kind of creepy. They were already leaving. Yeah, why are you alone there for 2 hours? That's a good point, Kevin. That is a damn good point. Because you had that one lady who showed up, she parked, she did one little lap, saw him, walked to the Freedom Bridge and back. She was done with her walk and then left. She was there for like a half hour at tops. Not necessarily SB 74. And we'll talk about that. I think she got there and went on her walk. Then Kelsey shows up like a few minutes later. And then she sees the girls when she's already done with her walk. Or no, I think it was actually before. I think she walked up to the bridge, saw the guy, turned around to go to really begin her walk, and that's when she seen the girls. So it was just like a few minutes. So she got there, and then a few minutes later, Kelsey drops off the girls. The lady at the bridge sees the guy, turns around, and as she's turning around to go continue her walk, she sees the girls coming towards the bridge. And by the time she gets back, she doesn't go back towards the bridge. She goes and gets into her vehicle at the Mears lot. And they have her on camera leaving. At the same time, the suspect was making actual contact with the girls, like 2:14-ish, 2:13, 2:14-ish. Derek blocked you. I'm sure he had his reasons. I'd like to know if they have a video of Kelsey leaving at 1:49. Yes, they do. Let's see. It might be right here. All right. Through interviews, reviews of electronic records, and review of video at the Hoosier Harvest Store, which is right across, right next door to the Mears lot where they were dropped off. Investigators believe victim 1 and victim 2 were dropped off across from the Mears farm at 1:49 p.m. on February 13th, 2017 by Kelsey. The Mears farm is located on the north side of County Road. Yeah, we know all that information. But that camera points right to that parking area. They can see people coming and going from there. So yeah, they got her on film dropping the girls off at 1:49. Yeah, and if this guy's out of work at that time, and I don't know, might need to get somebody to verify it before we put too much weight on that, but if he was out of work, maybe he was looking for strange ways to make money, you know? Honeybee says it's horrifying when you add up the errors made in this case, but maybe this happens in many cases and we just don't hear about them. Also, Indiana has third worst solve rate in the U.S. must be a factor. Yeah, that's why we need to start making better decisions as armchair sleuths or internet sleuths. You know, we can't. They have their own restrictions. You know, we can make our own, but we don't have to follow law enforcement blindly. You know, because they're going to try to get things over on us. Things that they could reveal to us, they're going to say, "Oh, we're going to choose not to." And if we don't put pressure on them, we're never going to know those details. Or if we're not going to do the homework ourselves, we should be out and getting the easy questions answered on our own. You know, simple research, you know, calling their media departments, things like that. Yeah, I think so, Jules. I think they have much more. Mm, I don't think so, Miss Kitty. We're just going over the details here. Um, we're trying to figure out if Richard Allen showed up. He backed his vehicle into to what appears to be to hide his license plate. Right. He passed multiple potential victims um, and was moving with purpose, according to witnesses, towards the Monon High Bridge. Um, so why was he in such a hurry? Why was he so determined? Why was he passing all these other people who were alone just to go to that bridge? Why was he doing all these things? And not only that, if he's doing these things, it's because it's pre planned. And if it's pre planned, why? Why is he targeting these girls? Because him passing those other potential victims shows that he had no interest in them, although they were the same age group. He could have easily pointed the gun at them and took them into the woods right there by that bench. Yeah, he was waiting. Somehow he knew that they were going to be there. Somehow he knew that. And I can't get over that whole Keegan Klein stuff with him logging in and out on different phones into the Anthony Shots account. And he's like, "Oh, I need two phones so I can be more efficient catfisher." That doesn't make any sense. Why would you log into the same account? Why'd you log out and log in? Wouldn't you just log out on one phone and log into the new account, and then log out of the new account and log back into the old account? And if you had two phones, wouldn't you just have the other account open on one phone and then the catfish account open on the other? Doesn't make any sense to be logging in and out on two separate phones, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I don't see that lazy piece of shit up at 8 a.m. in the morning doing anything, let alone even being motivated to do his favorite thing, which is catfishing. So I still think something's up with all that shit. So yeah, they did yell gun. Thomas's discovery will slowly reveal some next level shit. You want to know what we know, and someday you will. Well, I think we're further understanding that what they did to the girls was extremely brutal. Um, and once again, why? Like, why the brutality? Why are you so motivated to do this? Clothing was found in Deer Creek, belonging to victim one and victim two, south of where their bodies were located. We heard that from J. Kyle Keener as well. Hey, Olivia, Melly, good to see you guys. Hey, Don, what's up? Yeah, Derek is a what do you call it? He's an elitist. He's Jack Black from High Fidelity. Hey, what's up, Eminem? Time of death 3:30 p.m. Car left at 4. Yeah, I wonder why they said 5. I wonder if that was just something that they weren't sure on. But he was spotted around 3:57. Take him about 5, 6 more minutes to get to the CPS building if he decided to take off running. And he would have been out of there, by 4:10 for sure. Oops, sorry. Bossy says sometimes I think they sent the girls money for a secret phone. That's what I always thought. It's like, here, take this money, go buy yourself here. I'll even show you what it is. Go buy this phone. That way you can talk with me. I'm 19. I don't want you to get, I don't want to get in trouble. But if we're going to have this relationship, you need to go get this secret phone. Goes and purchases the secret phone, resets that one. Most likely at somebody's instruction to do so. Yeah, I don't know, honeybee. Because when you look at Richard Allen, you're like, okay, this is not just like some creepy guy, right? What made him creepy? 'Cause there was something going on with him that day. He might have been out of his damn mind. He may have been drunk. He could have been drinking from the night before, doing drug. Who knows what the hell was going on? What made him creepy? Thanks, Tom. Him parking that far away from the scene tells me he had no intention to abduct the girls, unless there's others involved and they were parked underneath the private drive. I just want to know what leads them to think that there was others involved. I'm wondering if there's DNA, other fingerprints. Um, there's something that's leading them to believe that. And then no prior convictions either. All right, let's take a quick skim through this here. Interviews were conducted with 3 juveniles, redacted and redacted. They advised they were on the Monon High Bridge Trail on February 13th, 2017. They advised they were walking on the trail towards Freedom Bridge to go home when they encountered a male walking from Freedom Bridge toward the Monon High Bridge. One of the witnesses described the male as kind of creepy and advised he was wearing like blue jeans, like a really light blue jacket, and his hair was gray, maybe a little brown, and he did not really show his face. So that's consistent with Richard Allen. He's got that brownish gray hair. She advised the jacket was duck canvas. I don't know what that is. Is that like Carhartt? Just like just canvas? Duck canvas type jacket. Witness advised she said hi to the male, but he just glared at them. She recalled him being in all black and had something covering his mouth. She described him as not very tall, was a bigger build, said he was not bigger than 5'10". So it's like, well, I don't know how tall he was, but he's definitely wasn't 5'10". Like he's shorter, but I can tell you, like, definitely not that tall. Advised he was wearing a black hoodie, black jeans, and black boots. So this is just one witness. The other two, it seems like were um, described the blue jacket. So I wonder why she was saying something different. Not very tall, or wearing a black hoodie, black jeans, and black boots. She stated he had his hands in his pockets, showed investigators photographs. Okay, see, I actually heard rumors about this, but of course, the rumors being processed through the rumor mill may have a few updated features, such as the rumor I heard were the photos that these girls took. There was somebody in like a scream mask or holding a scream mask. The younger sketch, but that was just a rumor. So I'm wondering if the Maxwell search warrant does that come back into play? Um, because I guess in that search warrant is where they first mentioned the 40 caliber unspent shell. So apparently in the Maxwell search and the probable cause affidavit, that's listed in there, and I wonder why. Because it was also rumored that he was one of the individuals that was in that photograph. But that was all, it's all rumor. Photographs include a photo of the Monon High Bridge taken at 12:43 and another one taken at 1:26. Okay, so they've left the bridge. They're walking back to the Freedom Bridge, and the bench that they're referring to is pretty close to about halfway. It's like a halfway point. It's where the trail and the water kind of get real close together. So 126, he would just be driving by right about that exact moment, pulling into the CPS building. So 126 snaps that photo, walks about five, maybe 6 more minutes, probably slowly strolling along with her friends. And here comes Knucklehead, walking with a purpose. So advised after she took the photo of the bench, they started walking back towards the Freedom Bridge. She advised that was when they encountered the man who matched the description of the photograph taken from victim two's video. The witness described the man she encountered on the trail as wearing a blue and black windbreaker jacket. She advised the jacket had a collar and he had his hood up from the clothing underneath his jacket. See, this is where he could be fucked, honestly. So if you have a witness that says, or if you have Richard Allen who comes out and admits, like, yeah, that's even me on the bridge, but I didn't do this, Yep, that's me. I'm wearing a blue jacket and blue jeans, but I didn't kill nobody. Now, if you have the witness that says, well, the person that I seen covered in blood and mud, um, fleeing near the cemetery is the same guy that's in that video. So he can get convicted just off that alone, in my opinion. She advised the jacket had a collar and he had his hood up from the clothing underneath his jacket. She advised he was wearing baggy jeans and was taller than her. She advised her head came up to approximately his shoulder and advised said hi, the man, and that he said nothing back. She stated he was walking with purpose. Now, if his goal was just to kill anybody, why not hurt her? Why wasn't she a potential target? Was it not the right location? Was he planning on waiting on the end of that bridge? And he knew eventually one of these young teenagers would walk across there? Is that all he did? He said, I'll just wait on the south end of this bridge and eventually, somebody's going to come back here. And when they do, I'll launch my plan. Thanks, Tom. I believe if we revisited the KK interrogation transcript and Ron Logan PCA, some of the new info would make more sense, possibly. That's a good idea. I think we will do that. I'll go through them at some point tonight. Yeah, and I'll take some notes and we'll see. That might be a good idea. Maybe she did. It was covered in blood and mud. But the thing is if there's somebody else involved, it's very possible that this other person knew one of the girls. Ron Logan affidavit says that there was no signs of a fight or a struggle. So they may have been more confused than anything, like, why are you doing this? Why do you need us to cross this creek? Um, one of them may have even have been hit, you know, so that they would comply. And then once they got to wherever the kill zone, um, it it just happened. They just became very violent monsters at that moment in time. But if there is somebody else involved, it would appear that they would know, that they may have known them in some way. Hey, Purdue, what's up? I think the secret phone had a tracker installed. RA was tracking them on his provided burner phone, not checking his stocks. Yeah, and we talked about that briefly. He was looking down and he was tracking them, not stocks. Yeah, Tom pointed that out. Yep, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, he looks exactly the same gait and everything. Vanessa says, "Does anybody think a witness has already picked Ari out of a lineup?" I believe so. Maybe all of them have. And they don't have to be like, "That's him." They'd be like, "Well, if I had to pick, it would be him." And they do it randomly. They'll put like 12, 15 different images up there and they'll slip his in there somewhere. Yeah, what's up with that, Sensei? Good to see you, though. Well, guys, we are running out of time. We're going to start closing it out. If you have any questions or follow up on today's discussion, leave a comment. If you're part of the replay team, the replay crew, um, leave a detailed comment or shoot me an email. But I did like that idea. Thank you so much. We'll see if we can revisit the transcript and Ron Logan's probable cause affidavit. If I find anything in there, if you guys find anything, let me know and we will take a look. Yeah, he had to have changed clothes, TD. Had to. I'm thinking he spoke with somebody later on in the day. I mean, did he not seem suspicious? Like, I don't know how you being covered in blood and mud. Did somebody make him help um, move move the bodies and stage the crime scene? Is that why he was covered in mud and blood? Hey, what's up, Grizz? Good to see you. Yeah, B. Phillips. Very interesting. No, I still haven't been able to verify whether or not he had court that day. Yeah, very strange. Got the McCains out there. Like, what the hell was going on? I don't know if the PCA was ever available on my case. I'll have to take a look. That's not where I got it. Yeah, well, the part that gets me JM is only one witness saw him covered in blood and mud. And that's the only witness that really makes it seem as though the guy wearing a blue jacket and blue jeans on the bridge is responsible for the murders. I mean, other than him, being there and being captured on the video and then recording and all of that, the only thing that really ties him to the murder after the fact is him being covered in blood and mud. So, I mean, it really does matter. Because otherwise he can say, hey, I was there. Doesn't mean I killed anybody. I told you I was there. I came forward, remember? But honestly, I'm hoping none of this matters. And whatever they found during that search is a slam dunk. And they're not done. They got to go capture somebody else, bring somebody else in. Yeah, I keep seeing the rumors about TK's mom owning a purple PT Cruiser. Is it possible different vehicles involved in the crime are being spotted at different times? Apparently, they drew a diagram, and the vehicles they were speaking about were parked at the exact same location. And it's just the human element, mistaking what they're seeing. Thank you, Tom. The way he kicks his right foot in his gait around that pool table match to a T. 100%. And I still do the image work on the bridge guy, just because it's still up for question. And I mean, it's him. Now that we have reference and we know what features to zoom in on or try to pull out, yeah, it makes it a lot easier, but you can see him. But he admitted to being there. It's the part of him being covered in blood and mud and that witness saying, yeah, that's the guy that was on the bridge. But when I seen him, he was covered in blood and mud. Boom. I mean, that to me, that's damning right there. Yeah, the dog lady, that's Kay Weber's neighbor. So apparently there was somebody that was back there who was darker complected, but also looked creepy. Good to see you, Derek. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anna. Thank you guys for hanging out. Indeed, Don. Piranhas and sharks. I guess not piranhas. Barracuda, maybe? Thanks, Steve. Yeah, what if we're dealing with multiple cars at the CPS building, at different times, all involved? 12 cut, I do have a Discord, but it's just for the members. It's a members Discord. Word, son. Thank you, Tax Cut. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe. And if you're part of the replay crew, feel free to leave a comment. We'll check on it periodically and respond when I can. And we should do this again real soon, and we will. Thanks again, everybody.